Hello, Mr. White.
Hey, Miss Singleton.
How you doing?
How you doing? The press conference is about to start. Where are you at?
Okay.
I'm on my way.
Okay, see you soon. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's press conference. Mr. White is en route, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have.
Madam Secretary, is it true that Mr. White supports DLM?
Well, dope lyrics do matter.
Madam Secretary, is Chris White the future of rap music?
As a matter of fact, here he is right now.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Good evening, everyone. All right, I'd like to welcome you all to my press conference today. Thank you, Madam Secretary, for holding it down. I see we have a lot of representation from the press. Do I have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. White. My question is, our world is in such a state of confusion. How are your dope lyrics going to bring clarity and healing?
You know what? Let me say it like this.
Okay.
Check, 1, 2. I figured since we live where morals no longer matter, shout out to all the conservatives who voted for the pudding grabber. Rapper to pastor, I don't care if you're fake. You could get this work, I don't discriminate. Pardon moi, but ever since my man died, I realized life is way too short. I don't have time to play. Every time I ever bit my tongue, I felt pain. And they say it's insane to keep doing the same thing. So I'ma let it hang and let the chips fall. Forget y'all feelings when y'all ain't never done nothing to feed my children. Refuse to lift a finger when they see me building. Now they wanna kick their feet up in my man cave. Chillin', leaning all on the sofa with a drink on the coaster, inching closer cause they keep seeing my name on the poster, posting like their own team when they wouldn't even stream and share my music with their friends. When I was trying to get exposure, asking, hey, when can I come over, get in the studio? Never, not near it one time. You know where you could go, don't make me say it. I'ma stay saved like K-Joe. Got my business though, I'ma stay paid and lay low. With a bag of chips, I dip in crypto. I blow the whistle on violators, I earn my stripes. I'm the official, I can wipe my hind part with the game like a tissue, but I have nothing to prove. So really, it's not an issue. Steps are ordered on the mission, God told me to come and get you. So rest in peace, Carolina Black dude, I miss you. And I'ma drop your name every now and then just to keep your legacy alive. Make sure they never forget you. So much promise and potential. To me, you were instrumental. Saturated in my vision like an oil that's essential in this. Readers and leaders call me Mr. Fundamental Tim Duncan. But instead of buckets, I be dropping wisdom I gain. Spending time in his presence with the scriptures on the canvas of your mind. I'm great to paint a picture so vivid. Each line's like 1,000 words. I'm so ahead of my time that I sound absurd. While some were hunting rhyming words, nouns and verbs, I was being humiliated, learning how to serve. Practice, I hold the title of a trill MC. Now we can both wear the belt, but to what degree? My penmanship was found in the depths of the sea. There are levels I don't think you wanna go this deep. Now double check yourself, or you wreck yourself. I handle disrespect like, oh my drink. With a fist full of hair, I'ma keep it funky with you, put your nose in it. Since you think stuff don't stink, rock comes before a fall. If you're feeling gigantic, remember the Titanic, now let that sink.
Yes, y'all. And we are back and live. Welcome again. You're tuned in to Introducing with Chris White. And tonight, I'm going to be interviewing a good friend of mine, very special guest. This guy wears many hats. Probably the only person I know that wears more hats than me. And I probably need a hat today because I ain't got my hair cut fresh and I'm woofy and all that stuff, but that's all right. It be like that sometimes. And we're gonna ride with it. But I hope y'all tuning in live on Facebook and YouTube. Y'all can see me. If y'all can't um, comment on Facebook or wherever you're streaming from, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can either scan the QR code there in the right hand corner with your phone and tap in that way, or you can subscribe by going to YouTube and type in at Y Records. I got a goal to reach 500. We're at 200 and some right now. That 200 and some going to turn into 200 and something thousand pretty soon. We walk by faith and not by sight. So y'all stop playing and go on and make it do what it do. So speaking of making it do what it do, I want to introduce y'all to my man, D-Ray. D-Ray is a DJ. He's a producer. He's an entrepreneur. He's a family man. He's a businessman. Most importantly, he's a man of God. He's a man of faith. And whenever we get together, we always cut up and have a good time. So I expect nothing less tonight. So without further ado, y'all put your virtual hands together. My man, D-Ray.
Hey, man, what's going? You know what? Put your Cash App up, because that introduction requires some kind of financial backing.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, I'm gonna put it up there later tonight, man. But yeah. I usually hold up. Matter of fact, I don't know what happened to my my joint. I usually keep it up there. But it's hashtag intro with Chris White. So I don't know why that thing ain't showing like it's supposed to.
Hey, man. Hey.
All right. Look here. We got who's this? Quay Smith saying how we doing this evening? We doing great. We doing great. Now that you're here, we appreciate you tuning in. Hold on, I can't do that. I gotta bring that comment up on the show.
There it is. What's good? What's good, cuz?
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, so look, man. We're gonna try to keep this thing to like an hour and some change, but I know you and I could get long-winded, man.
Hey, man. Hey, let's get into it.
We get together. So I got some topics I want to touch on. The first one, you sent this video to me. You were the first one to send this to me.
Right.
But I'd already got wind of it. I saw some of the clips, and it was the interview. It was Isaac Curry with the manager of Maverick City, Norman Giamfi. It's like Nigerian or something like that. So during that interview, man, he was saying some things, man, some good things and some things that was kind of wild to some people. I want to get your reaction or your thoughts. What did you get from that interview?
You know, it was watching that interview. It really sort of spoke to the duality of trying to navigate the Christian and gospel music industry, because on one hand, you definitely want to have your business laid down. You definitely want your business to thrive. You want your revenue to come. You want to be able to go where you want to go, do what you want to do. Yet there needs to be the other thing that should be attached to that kind of music: the compassion, the ministry, the people skills, the praying, the meditation, and all of that was absolutely absent from that video.
Wow.
And to me, he made some really, really good points regarding business and the music industry, that if it was any other genre, for me, it would be like, okay, this is a masterclass and we need to watch this. But the fact that this was gospel in the Christian space, I think it made a part of my spirit, man, a little sad. And so, It was difficult to watch it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It really was.
and I definitely feel you on that. And I hadn't really looked at it from that angle
Hmm.
until I heard you say something that day we was having a conversation, and I was like, you know, you kind of feel that, you know what I'm saying, that type energy coming from it. But I was kind of more looking at some of the positive things
Right.
that I drew from it.
Hmm.
One of the things that I thought was kind of positive from that was when he said that how did he say it? He said that that singers need to make songs, or these Christian artists, gospel artists need to make songs that are more singable.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mhm.
like people don't want to. I can't speak for all people unless I'm people, and I am people tonight.
Right.
I'm people, and I don't want to hear a song with all these runs and you running up and all these scales with your voice that I can't do.
Hmm.
When I'm riding in the car, I want to sing along with songs that I can actually sing. And
Right.
so I did think that part of what he said was kind of dope. But at the same time, it's like I feel what you're saying, because it's like you couldn't really feel any kind of connection with God with what he was saying.
Right. And it was one particular part of the interview where he was talking about the Marvin Sapp song "Never Would Have Made It," which
Yeah.
is basically a staple
Hmm.
in gospel music. And he basically came to me. He sounded very arrogant, very elitist when he said, I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up in the hood. I didn't. My dad was this. My mom was that. So that song hits different. That song don't do nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was very elitist of him in an industry that people look to for healing in, and
Yeah.
and I didn't really like that at all.
Yeah. And
Um,
I caught that part of the interview. I saw that, and he was kind of saying what's up, Amnesty? All right, and hold on, get these shout outs in here. What up, Jay? And so I kind of heard that part too, but I also heard what he was trying to say is that people in his generation are
mhm,
not really buying that type of music,
right.
and so they kind of tried to create a lane. They tried to create a new lane with people of their generation with stuff that they can vibe with,
Right.
because they don't identify with the struggle. Part of that I buy, but
Mhm.
there's another part of that that says keep living.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Yeah.
And for me, it's we have done battle for those of, as I say on Blast Music and other podcasts, for the uninitiated.
Hmm.
Chris White and I and a lot of other creatives, we've gone on podcasts where we've had to go to war with people who don't respect creatives, period, don't
Right.
respect Christian creatives. They expect us to show up for free and all this other stuff and all this other nonsense.
Talk
And
about
to
it.
and to me, this is what happens when the church, and I'm about to throw a grenade in the conversation. This is what happens when the church does not take care of business as it should. You invite people to come in, just like you invite people just like Mr. Gyamfi to come in, and this is a straight business person,
Hmm.
and that's what happens when, after years and years and years of you know uh, trying to pay your local rapper with a chicken dinner, and
Right.
it's like, hey, we're not paying, but we're gonna give you this exposure. And it's like, wow, that's good because my rent was 800 exposures. No, it's not. And so and so that's kind of the price that you pay. Now you got to deal with a business person that if it don't make dollars and it don't make sense. And for me, one of the saddest realities that I've had to learn in the last 20 years of dealing in this space is really the church and church folks will beg for what they need and buy what they want.
Wow.
And so we are now in this situation where people are being met with this problem, and it's getting to the point now that they can't hide it anymore. And now it's filtering into the musicians. It's filtering into the creatives, and not just the Christian hip hop artists. Really traditional gospel artists now are being met with this duality of where is the business? How can I make a living doing this?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man, you made me think of something. Of all people to bring up in this, years ago, me and my man DJ KC, rest in peace. We rode down to the Holy Hip Hop Awards together, and
boy.
and we didn't know each other until that weekend. We always said we left as strangers and came back as brothers. You know what I'm saying? 8 hours to Atlanta and 8 hours back to Kinston.
Right.
And so, but when we got down there, Cross Movement was there, and I remember being in the room, sitting beside, of all people, I was sitting beside Fanatic. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. And so I'm asking, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I remember I was asking, I was like, yo, man, I'm just trying to be, just straight up, man. Like, cause I thought Cross Movement was killing it. And I was like, yo, man, I was like, man, how do y'all make money off of this? and dude responded to me. He was like, I don't know. It was like, because they wasn't really killing it like that either. I mean, they were more popular than everybody else, but everybody in the Christian hip hop side was like trying to figure this thing out. Like it just was not, the money was just not there. The infrastructure just wasn't there. Like with secular music, man. And so I just thought that was ironic, man. You just took me back to that moment.
And the funny thing about it is that when you look at the industry, and Chris, I'm a researcher of the industry. Gospel music as a whole is probably one of the least bought. Now, why this dude gonna get on here and talk about Braun like that?
I know who that is. Look, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Everybody online, stretch your hand towards Jay Williams. You know what I'm saying? And pray for this brother, man. Look,
man, hey, dude.
Look, back to live action.
Look, yeah.
That's the devil trying to distract us.
Yo, but man, he made me lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we was talking about the Brady and the money.
Yeah, the money. And so like I've been doing this for so long, but the gospel music industry as a whole, if you look at like popular music or country music or hip hop, you're looking at popular music and hip hop represent maybe 50% of the entire music industry. Country, maybe another 20. Adult contemporary, maybe another 15, 20 or whatever. Gospel music usually is somewhere around 1.4, 1%, sometimes even 0.5%, right? And now I didn't say contemporary Christian, I said gospel, right? And because it's just a different thing. Somehow,
Can
Mhm.
can you explain to the people what the difference is between contemporary Christian and gospel in
If
your
if we
words?
if we're gonna boil it down to the least common denominator, like we would do in math, contemporary Christian is white folks, gospel is black folks. Period. That's just point in period. And oh, we'll get to that, brother. Um, but yeah, and so if you're looking at that, and so there's not a lot of money that gets changed officially from music sales or streaming or whatever. But if you go to these churches and you look at the grounds that some of these churches are built on, you look at these elaborate campuses, you look at where some of these pastors live, and you say, okay, well, the money is somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The money is definitely somewhere. But so like cross movement, I actually remember seeing cross movement. That would have been back in 2002
yeah.
in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was at a Church of God in Christ church in Charlotte,
Hmm.
and I remember the show, and it was like standing room only, right? I don't remember if we paid to get in or if they took up an offering, but I do also remember that they were selling CDs there, and I don't recall a lot of those CDs being sold.
Yeah.
And so it is really difficult to make a living doing gospel because most people feel like the gospel should be free.
Yeah, man. Man, I remember after doing Christian rap for like 10 years, man, like everything I did for free.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Like my first Christian rap project was a 3-song um single, like a maxi single.
Right.
That it was called Bounce, had a song on it called My Man, and
Hmm.
dang, what was the other song? It was Bounce, My Man, and dang, gosh, I can't remember the third song I had up there, but it was three joints up there.
Right.
And so I went through the whole thing with disc makers or whatever, pressed up 1,000 of them joints, and this is what I remember about that. I gave away performing at churches and whatnot 900 of those CDs.
Yep.
I only sold 100 out of 1,000.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying, of those CDs.
Hmm.
And then fast forward, I did other projects, and my I did pick it up. Matter of fact, let's pick it up. I did pick it up in 2009, and I think I had about 1,000 of them joints pressed up and everything.
Hmm.
Same thing, man. Like everywhere I went, pretty much, I gave a lot of them away, and then it got to a point where it was costing so much. Like I would go out of town, man. I had to pay for hotels.
Yep.
I had to put my dogs in the kennel.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yep.
if the performance is on the weekend, if I put my dogs in the kennel, they got to stay the whole weekend. I got to pick them
Right.
up Monday. So
Right.
I got 3 days of kennel fees.
Hmm.
If I bring my children with me, I got to feed them. And they ain't studying here in Daddy Rap, so I got to have some entertainment or something planned for the
Hmm.
weekend. So every time I go on a trip, it's costing me, right?
Right.
So man, I prayed about it, man. I was like, God, what should I charge? Like what would be fair? Because I don't really want to charge people,
Hmm.
but God is holding us accountable for our stewardship as well.
That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
I had, so learning that, you know what I'm saying, like you got to be a good steward of what God give you.
Hmm.
You got to be a businessman if you're going to be a business. So
Right.
so I prayed about it, man, and I believe the Lord told me He was like 300 per show. So if I did a show every weekend and I got 300 a show, that'd be like 1,200 a month. That would be comparable for putting on a concert.
Yeah.
Mind you, I don't open up for, before I got saved, I don't open up for Jay-Z,
Right.
Rakim, you know what I'm saying, Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan,
Right.
some big names, and I done been places where the speakers were to the ceiling, and
Hmm.
the artist wouldn't even come unless you was talking 10K or better,
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
So it's just crazy, man, how in the church they wanted everything for free. And I'm like, yo, why don't y'all get that we out here trying to save people? We supposed to
Right.
be on the same mission. But look, I ain't
Right.
even mean for the conversation to go this
No,
way,
no,
man.
no, no. You good. You good. Because
We done took it there.
but here's the thing though, and you're right. And a lot of times it is the local artists that normally have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I've known churches, and I'm not gonna name anybody, and I'm not gonna name names,
Don't be
but
scared.
no, just out of respect.
I know, man. I'm
Um,
messing with you.
yeah. But I have known churches that will not pay a local artist to come in and to perform and to minister, but will then turn around and spend upwards to $30,000, $40,000
Yeah.
for a secular artist to come in for someone on staff's birthday,
Yeah.
right? And not blink an eye,
Right.
or you're trying to say, hey, I'm trying to do a show that are in, we got all of these young Christian hip hop artists, and we want to do like a youth thing or whatever. And they're like, okay, but we ain't gonna sponsor it. We ain't gonna do this. We'll let you put the entire thing.
Wow.
But Kurt Franklin come in. Oh, we're gonna get a second mortgage for that.
Right. That's crazy.
And so that has been the paradox for a very, very long time, which
Man.
probably will go and lead into when you start talking about Lecrae,
Mhm.
because what happens when the well is dry where you are? You got to go where the water is at.
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
sometimes that water is somewhere. Sometimes it's outside of the church.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Man, and look, you taking me back, man, to the Holy Hip Hop Awards again.
Hmm.
Because also that same weekend when I met Cross Movement for the first time, I also met a guy by the name of, I don't know if you had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman, DJ Lace.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah,
I don't
DJ.
think I've met him.
I believe DJ Lace's government name was Lawrence Stroman,
Mhm.
but Lace was a pioneer with the Holy Hip Hop community.
Mhm.
He was real big with DJ Eddie Velez, and then when they had the Holy Hip Hop show and
Right.
all this stuff, and
Mhm.
I actually was on a couple of DJ Lace's mixtapes, and
Mhm.
because he was one of the biggest Christian rap mixtape makers, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
at the time. So Lace was crazy respected, man. Rest in peace to DJ Lace. But this is one thing that Lace told me at the conference, because we had these breakout sessions where we're trying to figure out how to best practices and whatnot.
Mhm.
So Lace told me this. He said that every artist is like a space shuttle, and you got to have a launch pad.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have a
All
launch pad.
facts.
And the thing is, your launch pad is your hometown. Your
Mhm.
launch pad is supposed to be your home church.
Mhm.
And the crazy thing is, the thing that's supposed to be the launch pad, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to help you blast off.
You know what though? And shout out to Blast, but
You know what I mean? Oh, no doubt. That was a good plug right there.
yeah. But no, but the real talk is, and 20, 30 years ago, that was absolutely the case.
Yeah.
But with the entrance of the internet
Mhm.
and how the internet changed independent music, your launch pad now can be wherever your tribe hears you.
No doubt.
Perfect example. My wife, who is a singer, my wife's name is Meek. We did her first single called "Seasons Change," and I think that was in 2012 ish,
Okay.
somewhere around in there. We had more sales and streams in the UK and in Europe than we did in our own hometown.
That's a blessing.
And while it is a blessing, it is something that you have to kind of side eye and go, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Now, without the internet, we'd have never got that.
Yeah.
If without worldwide distribution, we would have never got that.
Yeah.
And but but he is definitely correct, and you have to have a launch pad. And I'm gonna tell you also, it always takes. If you remember the space shuttle, for
Mhm.
for you youngins out there that don't remember it, the space shuttle had a giant gas can that was necessary for it to get out of orbit. That means
Okay.
it takes a lot of resources to get to blast off and to get put in orbit. Now, once you're in orbit, you don't need that much because you're in orbit. You need to work and you need to be an expert and you need to know what you're doing, but you don't need the resources once you're out there.
Yeah.
Um, but it's getting out there sometimes that a lot of us run into, these hurdles and these challenges
Hey,
because you need the resources.
hey, look, bro, you you started something tonight, man. I got a million questions lined up to ask you, and I ain't got to none of them yet.
It's all good. Come on,
But
let's do it.
but it's like, man, you just hit something like because even like with my platform, like if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I need y'all to subscribe, man. It's like
Facts.
there's some people who I know love me who might give me a kidney if I need one, but I can't get them to subscribe. I can't get them to stream. I don't need the kidney. I need you to subscribe. I need you to look up there in the right-hand corner and put your phone up there and hit
Right,
the QR code or go
right.
to YouTube and type at WIYH Records and just click the bell, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's what we need, man. But it's like a lot of times it's frustrating when people won't do the free stuff, man.
yeah,
They won't do the
yeah.
free stuff. I'm like, yo, man, y'all swear y'all love us and y'all swear y'all support us. But the only way they'll support you really is when you go off and blow up, and then they like, now we want you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
somebody else got to recognize you. It's the old adage, Jesus couldn't do great works in his hometown because they was
Prophet,
like that.
prophet
That's
is not honored
yeah.
in his home.
That,
Yeah, yeah.
we some people be like, oh, that's Jesus. You know what I'm saying? The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and the Son of God, and they be like, that's Joseph's boy. You
And right. Hey, that's that carpenter's son.
know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
so yeah. But look, man, let me get to my second question, man, because
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
we gonna be on the same question all night.
Right.
So also another interview that I saw, and I think you might have seen this too. Mally
Mm-hmm.
Music and Jay Williams did an interview, and they
Mm-hmm.
was talking about there need to be less gatekeepers. And when the guys asked them like, well, who are the gatekeepers? They was like, well, we don't want to say. And they was like, nah, like drop names or whatever. But they was like, saying they was like, man, man, if we tell, you know what I'm saying, we might get killed. And then dude was like, is it really like that? And Valley Music was like, yo, didn't they crucify your savior? You know what I'm saying? But but so if you saw that, I don't know if you
Hmm.
saw that
I
interview or
did.
not.
I did.
What were your thoughts on that interview?
So here's the thing about gatekeepers, and you and I, and shout out to Omega Sparks, shout out to Mike Jeezy in Atlanta and his mom and his sister. We have debated and talked about these gatekeepers for years, right? The problem is that sometimes we don't really know a gatekeeper when we see one.
Hmm,
It's not somebody that you can name.
right.
For example, um, there have been gospel gatekeepers that have kept Christian hip hop off the radio waves since the early 80s.
That's a fact.
It was some program director and some radio station before all of it became one program director in New York that plays everything for everybody. It was one program director that was that ain't gospel, I ain't playing it.
Yeah.
They don't sound like commissions, so I ain't playing them. That don't sound like that ain't the real anointing. Sometimes I really hate it when they say that word,
Right.
but that ain't this, that ain't that, and they make the decision to hold somebody up that could really be effective in the kingdom, right?
No doubt.
that really could draw people away from the things that they're doing and point them towards the light. But you got these people that say, that ain't my mom and them music, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna play it. And you really don't. Shout out to you, bro.
Hey, appreciate that.
Yeah, and so you really don't see these gatekeepers a lot. Now, what they were talking about, yes, there is an element. We just talked about one of those elements in the previous segment, right?
Yeah.
Like the guy that manages Maverick City.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't accusing nobody of anything, and I'm entitled to my opinion. But Chris, me and you ain't been saved so long that we've forgotten what a street dude look like when we see one.
Right, facts.
You know what I mean? And there's a price and a cost for trying to challenge a person like that when you're trying to assert something that they don't agree with.
Yeah.
There is a cost for that. And yeah, people have wound up missing behind that. People have had their careers upended. People have, and it gets serious like that. And
No doubt.
I hate to say it, and if you really, really think about it, doesn't it make sense that the biggest demons would be in gospel music?
Wow. That's a mouthful.
Doesn't that make sense?
That's a mouthful.
Wouldn't that make sense? Yeah.
No doubt. And you reminded me of something too, man. You keep giving me PTSD, man, from things I experienced back in the day.
That's because hey, look, that's because me and you trauma bond, man, because we've been through it, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So yeah, but like when you was talking about the gatekeepers at the radio stations, right?
Yeah.
So there was this local radio station in my hometown. And I will name drop. They don't even exist anymore. It was WELS. It was 102.9 in Kinston. And I used to go down there because I was on my own producing the broadcast for my pastor at church. So I was recording the podcast, the broadcast on CDs and cassettes at church. We were selling tapes at church after service. I would take the pastor's message home to my studio, chop the message up. I created an intro and an outro with an original song and all that stuff for the church. And you know what I'm saying? Boom. And I would take the music down there and the message every week. So I'm going down there and I'm doing that. And I got relationships with the DJs and the program directors and all this, that, and the third. And so they had this show called, what was it called? Ready for the Spotlight.
Okay.
So it was called Ready for the Spotlight. And shout out to my man, DJ Nikhil Jackson. Nikhil used to, do as much as he could to help me out. He would definitely play me on Saturdays. And so, but I kept asking him, I was like, yo, the show's called Ready for the Spotlight. Like, when are we going to be ready for the spotlight? Why y'all won't play our music during prime time? You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll play our music at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Who's up listening? At 7 a.m. So I got to get all my people to tune in to the radio station at 7 o'clock on a Saturday. They sleep. They sleep, dog. And so, so long story short, man, fast forward, I used to go in there and ask them to play stuff. And one day, man, I'm riding in the car, I'm listening to it. You know who I hear on my radio preaching? Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Wow.
So Farrakhan can have a message playing on the gospel station. And you won't play the Christian artists who out here trying to keep people off these streets in the city. You know what I'm saying? But it let me know, man, it was all about the money. It was like whoever paid to have their stuff played. And if that didn't tell me it was all about the money, nothing will. Because you have somebody that's contrary to Christianity, their message can flow But you won't play these artists who out here grinding and out here doing ministry in the streets and in the prisons, man.
Hmm.
It was crazy to me, man.
Yeah, and I mean, look, bro. I mean, one of the sad realities that we have to look at is that this is the music business. What?
Don't worry
Why?
about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. He trying to get banned. It's a it's
Hey
a
man, you
it's
can't.
a
Hey, you
it's a
can't ban
bot.
Jay. Hey, Jay will pull up. You can't. I done heard about Jay. You can't ban Jay. But
Yeah. Look, crazy.
Curry.
No, he better. He's much better than that other guy. Yeah,
Oh my.
no doubt.
Oh boy. We got a war in the
No KD to
KD.
go. Hey, look, man. Look, y'all
What are
trying to get
y'all
us off track.
doing? Anyway, no,
I'm gonna pray for all them brothers.
for real. But the sad reality is that it is the music business.
Hmm.
And with the music business, there is the business.
No doubt.
It just so happens that it is inspirational gospel or Christian, it is still the business.
No
And
doubt.
so that boils down to the actual economic golden rule. He who has the goal rules.
Rules. No doubt.
And so um and but at the same time, for those of us who know how to hustle and we know how to pivot, challenges like that, if you are really on your game, you start developing workarounds that, like, okay, if I can't go to this radio station right here, let me go up here and and create a relationship with this college radio station.
No
College
doubt.
college radio play me in the daytime. Um, matter of fact, the first song that I did with my wife in 2009, 2008, 2009 is still in rotation at North Carolina A&T State University. And
Dope.
so the idea is you have to figure it out.
No doubt.
The problem is though is that with a lot of artists who don't have that whatever it is in you, you let that one challenge discourage you, and then the next thing you know is it's
Yeah.
let me go find something else to do.
And man, me and you, the era that we come from, we had to grind, man. Like we had to create press kits and
Look, hey,
three song demos and
and you had to keep the cassette on you at all times
all
because
time.
you didn't know, you never knew who you were going to meet.
And,
You
and
know,
and be ready to perform at the drop of a hat.
at the drop of a hat. Let me
You
see what
know,
you can do. Let me do. Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
and had to get out of town. You had to
Hmm.
like I had to go to New York and Atlanta and places,
Hmm.
bigger cities because the only thing people was recognizing was New York,
Hmm.
Atlanta,
Yep,
and LA. You
that's right.
know, and so prior to the internet, but these guys that's got the internet and can't get no motion going who really like supposed to be about it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like where's that drive, man? Where's that hunger? Because we had to get it out the mud for real.
You know what? I tell artists that I consult all the time. This industry is the jungle, and you got to learn how to hunt. You know what I mean? And if you don't know how to hunt, you're not going to eat.
Hmm.
I can't work with an artist that's not working as fast as I am or as hard as I am. I can't do it because it's not going to work. Because at that point, I'm not consulting for you. What you really want is a staff, and quite frankly, you can't afford me
Right.
to be your staff. And so, I don't get it. But this is a new era and a new age. And getting back to radio, you said that radio station is no longer in business. Well, that's probably a reason why. Because if you always are going after the big thing, if you're always going after the controversial subject or whatever, and you're missing the local artist that could possibly save your radio station and
Yeah.
save your advertising dollars. I mean, now you got artists that bypass radio altogether.
Yeah.
You know, you got artists now that they look at their analytics and they go, I got 20,000 people that follow me, and 18,000 of them listen to me on Pandora. Well, then why do I need radio then? Why
Yeah.
instead of me spending $5,000 on a radio promotion, I could spend $500 on a boosted post on social media and reach more people that's going to listen to me on Pandora.
Yeah,
You
man.
know?
And it took me a minute, like to like I'm aware, like I'm technically sound and all that stuff,
Hmm.
but by the time the internet and people started popping online,
Hmm.
bro, I was about burnt out, or like not burnt out, but I was like to a point to where I had grown way past trying to be performing all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like I'm a family man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Excuse me, but
Yeah.
but it's like when we were younger and we was grinding like that, if we had the internet, it would have been something, because me being from Kinston, man, there was only 25 excuse me, there was only 25,000 people in the city.
Right.
I go to New York on the summer, I got 100,000 people on my block.
Right.
But
Right.
but with the internet, it's like it's wide open, man.
That's fact.
It's wide open, man, and people, artists that's trying to be about it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get it, man, because
Hmm.
they're gonna come a time, because technology and stuff change so fast, to where the internet is gonna be outdated.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be some new thing to where you used to could get money here, but you can't get it. You gotta move with the cloud and know how to get it when you can get it.
I just saw an innovation that I think is going to be revolutionary if it can really catch on. And it's being introduced by Chance the Rapper, that
Okay.
he has a CD that he's selling. But the CD is special in that when you take your phone and you tap the CD, it streams on your phone.
Wow.
And so now here it is now. You have amen. Now you have a tangible item that you can sell to people and still get the streaming dollars as well, because it's going to stream. So it's innovations like that okay, well, where's radio? Radio might not be in it, you know?
Mhm.
And like you said, you have to have the ability to pivot. And there have been time and time again of stories of companies and entities that are no longer around because they did not pivot.
No
You
doubt,
know,
man. You got to
Mm.
move with the cloud, man, for real.
you got to go with it. You got to go where the water's at.
All right. So I can get these questions in. I'm gonna move on to
It's
the
cool.
next thing on my list.
Cool.
We talked about Mally Music and Jay Williams and the
Mm-hmm.
Gatekeepers. The next thing I want to ask you about is I saw this video with Lecrae. Lecrae was responding to the backlash after announcing a collab with T.I. and Killer Mike on his new album.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to catch that clip?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
So there's a little bit of backstory with this because believe it or not, all of these topics are really related, and it boils down to gatekeeping and not allowing new art to flourish. Right? Think about how Lecrae got on. Right? Lecrae never got any black radio play.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ever. Right? When did you first hear about Lecrae? He was featured on DC Talk. DC Talk is CCM. It's Contemporary Christian.
No doubt.
Right? And so to the idea of Lecrae having to answer to black audiences is kind of ludicrous in and of itself.
That's
right?
a fact.
That's number one. Number two, I think back to an article that I read years ago about from Herbie Hancock, when Herbie Hancock is a jazz musician, played with a lot of greats. He played with Miles Davis and a lot of Chick Corea and a lot of jazz giants. but traditionally jazz did not sell enough to make a dent. That meant that you always had to be on the road. It wasn't until Herbie Hancock did Rocket, which was a hip hop influenced instrumental in the early 80s.
Okay.
That was his first platinum record.
Wow.
That was his first #1 record, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he made more money on Rocket than he did almost his entire jazz career, right? And there's this whole thing of, well, did you sell out? I ain't had no choice but to sell out because I didn't want my lights to get cut off. So going back to this particular situation, if we don't have the revenue to support people's career, if we don't have the following, why wouldn't we go and find someone to collab with to expand an audience? Because once again, this is business, right? And I'm gonna say something probably a little controversial. For years and years and years, the gospel industry has tried to take music from hip hop, from R&B, from jazz, for whatever, to modernize their music. It should not be a surprise when now artists like T.I., artists like Killer Mike, artists like Glorilla, artists like Snoop and Kanye are snatching these gospel things back to make hip hop. You know what I mean? It should not be a surprise. And so this whole backlash with Lecrae, and Lecrae gets a bad rap a lot of times, in my opinion, because he's the poster child. He is that one dude. And you and I could sit up here and name probably 15, 20 different Christian hip hop artists that we love and that are effective in the kingdom and that dude. But Lecrae is that dude that everybody just kind of knows. Yeah. And so he's now the dude that everybody blames.
And the thing is, everybody knows him because, like you said, he took advantage of, and not taking anything away from Lecrae.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I respect, his body of work and, you know what I'm saying, what he's done. But at the end of the day, I know history.
Right.
And when I was a kid, I went with a youth group to this thing in West Virginia called, what was it called? It was like a camp. It was like a Christian camp thing that we went to. Gosh, what was it called? I can't remember the name of it, but when we got to the event, it was like there was an outside amphitheater, and on the campsite, all of the different places on the site were named after books of the Bible.
Okay.
Like you had Genesis camp and you had Revelations camp and so on and so forth. So while we were out here, they had these big concerts. BB and CC Winans was there. Oliver North was a keynote speaker. And they had gosh, what's that guy? Carmen was there.
Oh boy, now you're talking about some money. You're talking about some money. Okay.
Yeah. Carmen was there. I think Michael W. Smith was there. And guess who was performing rapping? Decent Christian Talk. Decent Talk. So when I was a kid, I seen DC Talk, and I knew they were on that platform there. So DC Talk already had this platform with this large base of conservative Christians who had big churches and mega money and mega platforms. So when Lecrae came on, it wasn't that his stuff was so dope. It was that he plugged into someone who had a platform who could get him in front of stadiums.
Absolutely.
Full of people. And so there's a difference in, you know what I'm saying? We got to know the difference in skill level when it comes to hip hop. There's a difference in talent and giftedness. And then there's a business side to where a lot of times when an artist has the machine behind them, they'll try to downplay someone who don't have that.
Right.
I'd never try to compare a industry plant like a Drake to a black to a Black Thought.
Right,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean? Like it's Black Thought is in a whole nother stratosphere.
Right.
But if you listen to some of these young people who don't know anything about the culture, about the business and how things work behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, well, look at how many he sold, and look at how many albums he sold, and everything is not all about album sales when it comes to hip hop and real
Facts.
hip hop.
Facts.
So yeah, but anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Another
Yeah.
thing that I saw that you had spoke on was you had posted on your Facebook about this John Tillery guy. He announced that he was walking away from the gospel industry, or the gospel music industry. Man, I don't even know really who John Tillery is. I looked up and I saw he had won or was nominated for some Stellar Awards and stuff like that. But I'm not familiar with his music, and honestly, I'm not familiar with a lot of gospel music because I'm a hip hop head. But what was it about that story that kind of moved you or got your attention?
Well, and while I'm not necessarily all that familiar with his work as well, it is the compellingness of his story when he said, "It is with a heavy heart that I'm gonna have to walk away from the gospel industry." He didn't say he was walking away from music. He said he was walking away from the gospel industry. And some of the things is like, he's talking about the manipulation, the manipulators that are in the industry. He talks about the people that will, and this is one of his post quotes. He said, "You see, people will take your music, your gift, your heart, and mishandle it. They'll lie with a smile, manipulate with scripture, and hide behind kingdom work while doing nothing but kingdom damage.
Wow.
They'll ask you, they'll ask for your support, but never show up for yours. They'll pocket your money. They'll pocket your money, make empty promises, then ghost you like you never mattered." Right?
Wow.
And I'm so sorry. Those of us that have been in these trenches for a long time, we can relate.
No doubt.
And we can relate to that. And it's like all you want to do, especially when the music is in you, all you want to do is produce this music and get it out there and just stay creative.
No doubt.
Going through this other stuff, it was not what we asked for, right? And so you get to a point that it's just like, I don't even want to call myself a gospel anything anymore, because it has such a negative stigma. I saw there was an article. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but somebody was interviewing Fred Hammond, and he was talking about the state of gospel, and he was like, the scripture says we're supposed to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth, right? The difference now is with today's gospel, we are worshiping within spirit and performance, not truth.
Yeah.
Because performance is where you have to do all those runs. The performance is when you have to, do something crazy or do something very, very churchy. But it's not every day that, like, the music that you write, the music that we've written, where we talk about, hey, I may or may not know how to pay my bills today. I may or may not know how to deal with this depression or whatever. That's truth, right?
Yeah.
Where is that? Where is that in gospel? And it's not there. But so you have the performance that people are now starting to see through, and then now you have these musicians that can't really live their lie anymore.
Right.
And so now you have to figure it out. It's like, and I think maybe you and me were on a podcast one time where somebody was like, would you rather be called a Christian artist or an artist who happened to be Christian? Who happened to be Christian.
I remember that.
And people always say, well, you're ashamed of this or you're ashamed of that. No, it's not that at all. It is that there are elements out there that have made a mockery of being a gospel artist.
Yeah.
You know?
And then too, it's like as an artist and as a business person,
Mhm.
you have to ask the question, you know what I'm saying? Does it help or hinder?
Right.
Or is it what is the benefit of labeling yourself a certain thing? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And and then it's like if people who are, I'm not trying to, be critical of the church or anything like that, but
Mhm.
what I'm saying is, if people who are in the church don't support you
Right.
financially, they don't stream your music, they don't buy your music, they don't come to your shows, they don't do any of those things. It's
Mhm.
like what gives them the audacity or the right or the equity to feel like they got a stake in saying how you should do a thing.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like you don't do anything, you don't contribute in
Right.
any way, not even with encouragement or words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
then you want to be the one to tell me how to do this and how to do that, man. I remember they used to this show came out years ago. Now you in the cartoons and superheroes and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You look like a comic book head.
You know I am.
So you remember when The Incredibles first came out?
Yep.
I remember watching The Incredibles, man, and that scene in the movie touched me so much, man. It was like there was this guy, he wanted to be like down with the superheroes or whatever.
Mhm.
And because they kept pushing him away and pushing him away and pushing him away, he turned out to be the bad guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He went,
Yep.
and that's how it is with Christian hip hop and a lot of people in the Christian industry. It's
Mhm.
like you have people who have gifts in the church, and they're like, "Hey, use me. What can I do?" And you don't pay them no mind. And then when they take their talents to South Beach, you know what I mean? When they take their talents
Right.
to the world,
Yep.
now you want to criticize them. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
you should be doing this and for the Lord and so on and so forth. But it's like, when you had an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to use me, you didn't.
Yeah.
And that leads me to another story that came up recently, man. This right here, I don't know if you caught this. Old girl made a video, Leandra Johnson.
Oh Lord.
I was gonna pull the video up, but she was cussing so hard in the video, I couldn't really do it. But Leandra Johnson, I don't even know where this came from. Maybe you know more about the backstory.
I don't.
But she was like, she said F-bomb the church and F-bomb Christianity.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, anyways, I got my thoughts, man. What?
Okay, so here's my thoughts on Miss Johnson. Clearly, she has a problem, right? Like, we have to establish that whether it is mental, spiritual, emotional, she needs help in that area.
Yeah.
Also, when you mix that with popularity and fame, right? That is also a recipe for destruction because people are not rushing to help her. People are not rushing to see if she needs anything. People are rushing to see the train wreck.
Yeah.
And that's tragic, right? But it also points out to a certain truth if you are a believer and you're reading between the lines. If you are a follower of the way, which is what Jesus was teaching, Jesus never taught Christianity. It was called the way, right?
Yeah.
If you follow the way and you go back and look at it, a lot of what the way is has nothing to do with the modern church, and it has nothing to do with with modern Christianity. And so in a certain kind of way, she's exposing the fact that there is a lot of hypocrisy in what we call the modern church and modern Christianity.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, and I get that, and because I'm always trying to I don't want to say I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt,
Mhm.
but I'm always trying to find the good in people,
Right.
and I'm always trying to there's a saying, hurting people hurt people.
Facts.
I'm trying to look beyond people's hurt and
Mhm.
see their need,
Right.
and see if, you know what I'm saying, like what does God want me to do, or how does God want me to address this situation, or I'm not that one who's quick to throw somebody away because they say
Right.
something that's kind of far left or far right.
Right.
I'm like, man, like, I'm trying to hear your heart.
Right.
And where is that coming from? So even with that, man, it's like, yo, like, Leandra, come on now, like the church is the bride of Christ. You gotta,
Right.
and it shows the immaturity in her, for one,
Right.
and it also shows how I believe she's burnt out, and she's been used and abused by the church.
Yeah.
And even though she probably could have expressed herself in a much better way,
Right.
the church still has to reckon with, you know what I'm saying, what she's saying and what she's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Because that doesn't just come from nothing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody
No.
somebody somewhere offended her in some way, and that don't justify what she said.
Right.
But at the same time, sometimes we can look at the person who's hurting and how they lash out, but we're not dealing with the root of the problem, which caused that hurt.
You know, it's funny you said that, because I just had this thought that popped up in my head. You know, if somebody else had showed up to talk to the woman at the well instead of Jesus, do you think she'd have been cussing out somebody too?
Right.
If somebody else had showed up with with the woman with the issue of blood and all of these other things, if somebody else showed up instead of Jesus, they probably would say F this and F that too. They might have not have said it like that,
Yeah.
but in some aspects, I think she needs more compassion and more empathy, because you're right, that comes from somewhere. That's just not all just her. I mean, it is a little bit immature, don't get me wrong, I agree with that, but that comes from something else. And we both know this business. We know that there is a price that gets paid when you buck the system.
Yeah.
When you try to expose things in the industry. This is the reason why Mally and Jay and all those people didn't want to name the gatekeepers. Look at Leandra. That might be a product of what happens.
When
You know what I
name the
mean?
gatekeepers.
When you name the gatekeepers, right? Because remember, a few years ago, she went after one of the Winans, and had like a really public spat. And she had some beef. I think it was the Essence Music Festival that so she's really gone to war with people in the industry a long time, and you can get some real PTSD with that.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where this came from. She was supposed to perform at some festival, and they took her name off of the thing.
Right.
But they took her name off of the thing because of what she said.
Right.
And and in that case they should, because you're not being a good representative.
Right.
And I even think that's love, because whom the Lord loves, he corrects. You know what I'm saying? If you really love her as a sister in Christ, when she need to be sat down, you'll sit her down and be like, hey, since we need to talk about some things, there's some things you need to correct. I don't care how good you can sing. I don't care how much money we're gonna make from you singing this week. I'm concerned about your soul, and I think that's really, you know what I'm saying, what needs to happen with her, man. Prayers to her, go out to her. But at the same time, she can't keep doing this over and over and over.
But think about this though, man. Why does she keep doing it over and over and over? Because there is no correction. There is this thing where all she got to do is come out with another album, and all it would seem like everything is forgiven, and that is a problem. That is always a problem.
Man, I had never even paid attention to her like that until we were on Critical Dialogue and we did that show and we was talking about when she was she was intoxicated and whatnot,
right?
And went live. But after that, man, I went and listened to some of her music and I'm like, oh my God, this lady can sing. I ain't say she can sing. She can sing with an A, S-A-N-G. She can sing. Man.
She is the embodiment of Gibson Collins or Without
Repentance. No doubt, man. Yeah, no doubt. And you said something earlier. You was talking about the way, and that's a perfect segue for what we're about to talk about next.
Let's go.
What I'm about to talk about, man, is the One Way app. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. My homeboy, Brashawn Thompson, has a new app. Y'all need to check it out. Let me see here. Share screen. Where is it? So boom. With the One Way app, okay. The app is available on the Apple App Store. You can just go to the Apple App Store, download it. Now that's available on the iPhone and on the iPad. You can't get it on the on the MacBook or whatever right now, but you can get it on your phones. If you're back in time and you still use an Android, you can get it on Google Play or you can get it on the Amazon App Store. Couple of things I want to share with you about the app. With this app will help you stay connected with day-to-day life of their scouting service. So One Way does a scouting service. So they kind of help athletes who are trying to get connected to colleges and get scholarships and things of that nature. They provide a scouting service. So if you're trying to be discovered, trying to be seen, the One Way team can help you as an athlete. Get some exposure, not like that music exposure, but some exposure that can really help you out. Also with the One Way app, you can watch and listen to past player development sessions. I went to the app earlier today and was watching some of the videos. And so there are like trainings. So if you're a basketball player and you're trying to develop your game, maybe you couldn't or can't afford to take lessons right now. There's some trainings where the One Way team was training athletes, and you can just basically watch those videos and incorporate those drills. You didn't even have to pay for them. You know what I'm saying? But you can watch somebody else and learn from their drill. You can stay updated with their push notifications. And also, there's a Bible on the app. So you can read the Bible on your app. You know what I'm saying? It's called One Way. It's a Christian-based app. The developer is a friend of mine, Brashawn Thompson. He's been a leader with Fellowship of Christian Athletes for decades. And so this app is big. So I want everybody to go download the app and, you know what I'm saying, and tell people about it. Hashtag, tell people on your social medias or whatever, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Tell everybody, hey, download the One Way app. It is absolutely free. You can also view the One Way calendar event, so you can see things they have coming up, trainings, teachings, podcasts, concerts. Plug in with the One Way app. He didn't pay me to do this. I'm doing this because that's my homie. Y'all need to tap in.
Man, that's solid, man. You know, that's hey. Once again, Chris, You're looking out for people, man. That's solid.
Hey man, you're gonna reap what you sow, man. You can't
Fact.
ask people to support you and you don't ever support anybody, man.
That's
That,
right.
that
That's
that's
right.
real talk. That's real talk. So
Yeah.
listen, man, we done talked about a lot of things, man. Now I want to jump into a couple of more serious topics.
Uh-oh.
All right. The first thing I want to jump into is man, these Epstein files, man.
Bro.
These Epstein files.
Bro.
Yo, so I D-Ray.
Okay, so for the uninitiated, Epstein was, from what he's being described as one of the worst sex traffickers in modern United States history, right? Did a lot of debaucherous things, and unfortunately, a lot of celebrities, a lot of ministers, a lot of pastors, a lot of athletes, a lot of politicians have at one time or another rubbed elbows with Epstein. And and I have to point out to people, it's like, back in the early, I think it was early 2000s, when R. Kelly and Jay-Z did that Fiesta track. And you go and look at the music video, that music video was shot on Epstein's Island,
Wow.
right? Yeah. So you have these files, and in these files, he kept very detailed records of his guests, who they were with, and what they would do. Right? There are some people who have allegedly said that he has videotapes, he has surveillance. He did that to basically keep some of these people in check, right? And there are some who say that that he did not commit suicide, as they're saying, while he was locked up, that he was silenced because of these files, right? And so one of the reasons that I feel like our current sitting president is very hesitant about getting behind these files is because he is intertwined with these files and has been intertwined with this man since the 80s. So he was a sicko, and everybody involved with it will fall. God always gets the last word. That is a fact. And so, like we were talking earlier today, man, and I was like, what happens when you have a tumor that's attached itself to a blood vessel? If you try to take that tumor out and it's already attached, you might bleed to death because you might have to take that vessel as well. Well, that to me is why our current sitting president can't divorce himself from these files. And so rather than just release the files and try to redact his involvement, he's just not going to show the files at all.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. And one of the things that troubles me, man, is when they talk about the lady who was in partnership. What's her name?
Giselle, just something Maxwell, I think.
Maxwell, yeah. when they even sound like they're considering a pardon for her, that just disgusts me, man, because I'm like, there's nothing she can tell. There's no evidence that she can provide. There's nothing good that she can do that would warrant letting her out of jail.
Right.
Especially when you have all of these victims, and when you talk about thousands.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about at least 1,000. They're talking about victims that are still alive and have to deal with the trauma and everything that comes with the abuse that they had to endure. And now they potentially have to see someone who helped orchestrate all of these atrocities potentially be set free
Hmm.
by the president of these United States.
Hmm.
You know, like man, there's nothing she can say. There's no kind of testimony she can provide.
Hmm.
Nothing that should be, you know, that should give anybody pause or there be any consideration of her being set free.
Right.
I just can't go for that.
Mm-mm.
You know, so
And I think because the principal person that would have all the information is no longer with us, right?
right.
And so she was second in command.
Hmm.
So naturally, she probably is in a position that she can make a deal because of what she knows.
Yeah,
And but I also agree with your point. There is no justice in that. There is no justice in letting someone who may have sex trafficked kids and flew them out of the country for debauchery purposes and whatever. There's no justice in letting her out.
no
You
doubt.
know, and
And
so yeah.
yeah, speaking of pardons, man, Sean Diddy Combs' attorney is saying they reached out to Donald Trump regarding a presidential pardon. That
Yep.
that was earlier today.
I saw that today. Yeah.
I seen that. What are your thoughts on Diddy and his team asking for a pardon?
So our sitting president is actually engaging in open corruption in everybody's face, right? And this is how it works. Just like it worked for Todd and Julie Chrisley of the reality show, this is how they got out. Somebody went and bought one of his digital bitcoins and paid millions for it. And once they contribute, he gives a pardon, right? So that has nothing to do with good behavior, has nothing to do with the pursuit of justice. It is who can pay our president enough money that he will put his pen to this pardon. And to me, that is a mockery of the system. That is a mockery of the office. And, but it's not surprising. It's
Yeah.
really not surprising,
Yeah, I agree, man. And another problem that I have with these pardons, man, is the when he's giving out these pardons, man, it's like you're pardoning the worst of us.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
like, what do we need NBA YoungBoy out here for?
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Like Boosie. What good is he doing in the community? Little Wayne, you know what I'm saying, inspiring our generation to become lean addicts. Like everybody who is getting a pardon. Even I remember Mike Tyson was talking about he was going to vote for the orange one because he was like, he's cool. He got a lot of my friends out of jail.
And did.
Yeah, but who cares? If your friends are criminals, they need to be in jail. And that don't make me feel like he's cool with the black, brown, and beige folk because
Right.
you letting these criminals loose. Like they
Right.
don't represent me.
Right. But yes, they do in the eyes of those in power. They feel like that these are the best of us because they have money and influence and they have legions of followers. And yes, special emphasis on legion if you're catching that.
And
But
no doubt.
but at the end of the day, it is all to pacify people to say, hey, maybe he ain't so bad because he let such and such out, or he pardoned such and such. And it has nothing to do with that either. It has it all to do with how much money he can make, how much influence he can bring in, and what he can do for himself. You know, we got people that are losing health care. We got people that can't feed their babies. And this man just built put a $200 million extension on the White House.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I don't have very high opinions of our sitting president at all. So
So what I'm gonna do now, man, is it's about time for us to wind it up, man. But because you and I, like I said, we could get long winded.
facts.
And I don't want it to be too long. But I always try to bring some scripture, you know, what I'm saying, to the table. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a couple of scriptures from two different sources.
Mhm.
All right, first, Exodus 20 and 15. The King James Version says, "Thou shalt not steal."
See, you know what? Hold on, wait a minute. Wait, no, man. See.
Hold on, man. Let me.
Hey. As soon as you put that up, I knew what you was doing, dude.
Let me preach. The Bible, the King James Version said, "Thou shalt not steal." All right. The NCW translation says, "Thou shalt not steal." STEELE. That's the new Chris White version. All right. Now, clearly, the Bible says, "Thou shalt not steal." D-Ray, you're supposed to be a man of God.
Man,
why are you still pulling for that team with the black and gold?
You know, every this is, you know, I had an old operations manager tell me one time that 1,000 pats on the back can be wiped away with one. What the are you doing? And I knew this was what you was doing when that came up. And so all I'm gonna say is, somewhere in that same section it says, "Thou shalt not have any idols," like that right there.
Come on.
Yeah. thou shalt not make any false images or any idols. And you disillusioned Cowboy fans are just, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, man.
Hey, and you say we might be waiting for our quarterback to get hurt, but y'all waiting on y'all owner to die. So that's that.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Come on,
that's
man.
that.
Come on.
That is that. You about as bad as these LeBron fans in the comments, man.
Oh, they bad now. No, don't put me on that level. Don't put me on that level. Don't put me on that level.
I can't believe, you know what? I can't believe you did that. You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
Right. I got one more scripture. To share.
Go.
And then I'm gonna bring on the man that's been talking about LeBron all night, man. All right. So Matthew 20 and 16 says, "So the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. For many be called, but chosen a few." That's the scriptures, right? That's the Bible, right? Look, you don't even want to answer.
Yeah, because I know where you're going with this, but okay. Yeah, I'm gonna walk right on into it. Yeah, come on.
All right, that's what the Bible says, right? All right,
yeah.
Now let's see what the new Chris White translation says. This is our year. The last should be first. The first should be last. It's the Cowboys' year.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys' year to go to the draft yet again. Because at the end of the day, we all know that winter always comes. It's just like the Game of Thrones. Winter always comes for the Cowboys, right? This particular year, You can blame El Nino. You can blame El Nina, or you can blame La Jerry Jones. Whatever you want to blame, winter is coming early this year.
Come
And
on,
so, hey man, winter's coming early. So enjoy preseason while you can, because this is gonna get wrapped up in right around September or October. We ain't gonna have to wait to January this year or December. Christmas is gonna come early. Y'all gonna be up out of there.
when we win that Super Bowl, man, remember I got this recording. I'm gonna play it back for you.
I hope on everything. I hope on everything that I can grab this clip before you delete it.
Oh, you crazy? Oh, you wild! Look, Jaden. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Help me out, man. He frying me over here, man. He killing my Dallas Cowboys, man.
Hey, hold on. Before we get into that, you can't even talk about the Cowboys because you done talk about South Beach. You throwing shots at Brian. Like, what's up, man?
What do you mean, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
Wait. First of all, we're talking about a 4-time champion. We talking about the GOAT, number 6. Like, what?
Okay, first and foremost, youngin, let's do a little math. All right, let's do a little math.
Yeah.
If I'm 6-0 in the finals,
Had a young on that.
how many percent? Is that 100%? Is that 100%? If I'm 6-0 and I've never been defeated in the finals, that's 100%.
Yeah, he preaching good now.
I'm pretty sure that whatever public school you attended,
Right.
100% is an A+.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Now, how many times has LeBron been to the finals, and how many times has he lost?
Brian been in the finals 10 times. Okay, he lost.
And so wait. So let's do a simple math. He been to the finals 10 times. He done lost 6 of them. Now, where I'm from, that's an F.
Okay. Hey, that's an F. Cool. In my opinion, like I said, he's still the greatest player of all time. Can't nobody take that out of my mind, man. Brian the GOAT.
I'm cool with that, and it's just because you ain't lived long enough, and you just don't know no better. And there's room on planet Earth for you too, sir.
Nah. See, you know how I'm gonna say it like this. You know how us Cowboy fans can be delusional.
I don't know, because y'all Cowboy fans are real delusional.
Are you? Hey, wait. What's your NFL team, right quick?
I am the 6-time Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers fan. We are the team that y'all want to be when y'all grow up. That's what I am.
Steelers fan.
That's exactly what I am.
You're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I am indeed.
Hey, I can't say nothing because they got 6 of them things and we still stuck on 5. So I can't.
Wait. When the last time they won a champion?
2017. So you want to talk about that now? I'm glad you brought that up, Jaden.
Hey, Jaden,
hold on. Wait. Didn't you say let me cook? Let me preach. Let me cook. Because he brought it up. 2007, I think is when we. But the last time. Let's go over the last time the Dallas Cowboys.
Can we talk
won the
about?
Super Bowl.
Can we talk about basketball?
Hey, hold. The last time the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl, number one, we had big booty TVs. This was before flat screen. America Online was still sending out the disc because we had dial-up. We didn't have high-speed internet. We had dial-up. We didn't have HD. We didn't have 1080. We had just regular standard color, and more importantly, there was a 1 and a 9 the last time y'all won a Super Bowl. Please don't say that. Please don't bring that back up.
Hey, Jaden. Look, I brought you on at the end, and you got me up here getting cooked.
I'm sorry.
What's your take?
Wait. No, I had to
What's
get you
wrong
back.
with you? No, man.
Wait.
No, you talk about your
You know how
you talk about your donkey LeBron. I mean your goat.
Oh,
No, wait, I'm talking about Brian because you in your top 10. Man, I ain't talking about that. You ain't put him in your top 10. You gonna say, I got Kareem, I got Magic. He skipped Brian. He said, I got Kobe.
Hold on. Don't be. Look, I can tell people. Listen. I can tell people my own top 5. Here go my NBA top 5. We're gonna do a show.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it because I got mine. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my top 5. All right, number 1. I know me and D-Ray agree. All right. Number 1 is the real GOAT, the one and only MJ.
Facts.
Okay. Number 2. MJ 2.0. Hold on. Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Did this youngin' just yawn? Okay, keep going, Chris. I'm sorry.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I don't see no problems.
My number 4. Greatest all time. Magic Johnson.
Okay.
My number 5. Greatest NBA player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry.
Oh Lord! Oh my God!
Hold on. I don't see any problems with this list now. I probably would change a couple things because MJ is the GOAT. I would put Magic Johnson as my number 2. I would put Kareem as my number 3. I would also put let me think. I would put Shaq as my number 4, and I probably would put Steph as my number 5. Seeing as how here is the thing, and Mr. Jaden, I want you to really pray and meditate on this tonight because we're trying to impart wisdom on your young mind, right?
It can't get to him because them dreadlocks in the way.
But anyway, here's the thing. You know, everybody that we named, whether it was Chris's list or my list, everybody that we named were killers, were absolute murderers, absolute killers. They would run over their own mamas to win a game. LeBron just ain't got that. LeBron don't have it. He ain't never had it, and he ain't never gonna get it.
I gotta give you my list then.
I really don't think your list matters.
No.
But for the sake of the show, I guess we'll have to listen to this mockery.
Go ahead, Jaden. Make it quick, young man.
Make it quick. It's 5 players. Hold up though. Let me cook. I always give respect to MJ. I put MJ, Brian, Kobe. I don't put Curry in there. MJ, Brian, Kobe. I put Shaq, and then another person I put. Hear me out though. I ain't gonna lie. This is my top 5. Me, I would pick KG. That's just me.
KD?
Right. KG, not KD. KG.
Are you meaning Kevin Garnett?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can't. Hey,
you taking your glasses off. I'm trying to find mine.
I took my glasses off to make sure I heard it right.
Jaden.
Wait. Hold up. You can't lie. Hold up. I'm be honest. First of all, I gave respect to MJ. I gave respect to no, I don't want to put KG. I put Curry at 5. I gave respect to MJ. I gave respect to Kobe. I gave respect to Brian. Like,
hey,
real talk.
I would put Allen Iverson over LeBron.
You out of your mind.
Hey, first of all, ain't nobody talking to you.
No.
That's my son.
Hey, what he say?
Hey, that's my
look,
son. Hey, that's my son, and he just turned 13 today. So
He said-
2 or 3 of them
What
little
he
hairs
say?
done popped up on his chest.
Happy
But
birthday.
you
What he
stay out of
say?
this.
What he say?
He said
Hey,
I was
listen.
out of my mind.
Hey, listen, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to come back and do a show where we talk about our top 10 NBA players, and we'll bring these young bucks up here and let them embarrass themselves.
They should, because they apparently they ain't done their homework.
Did this man he's exactly what he said. Man, you out your mind. Come on
Look, before we go, Jaden, let me tell you why
now.
guys like me and Chris and us, let me tell you why we like LeBron, but we ain't necessarily thinking he's the GOAT. I'm gonna tell you why. There was a guy that was in the 80s that basically outplayed Jordan in college. And he was the LeBron before LeBron. His name was Len Bias. So if you go on YouTube and look up Len Bias was the same body type, the same size, and the difference between Len Bias and LeBron, Len Bias was a killer. He had an outside shot and he had an inside shot, right?
LeBron can do anything he puts his mind to.
Except win championships. Anyway, that is why we are not that impressed on the East Coast, because we've kind of seen it. We've kind of seen it before.
Look, man.
Wait, what? Oh,
Look. We got these delusional young men. So we're gonna have to get off here, and
I'm done for the night.
and everybody, you know what I'm saying? I got some homework for everybody watching. 2 things. Number 1, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe. You can use the QR code up in the corner, or you can just go to YouTube and type in @Y Records. Some of you have subscribed while the show was going on. I appreciate you. Love y'all. Watch the replays, watch the shorts and all that stuff, man. We'll be back here next week with another show. I got some stuff pending. I'm waiting for some people to hit me back to confirm if they're going to be available. But thank you all. Jaden, we even appreciate you for coming on.
Hey, man, is that
tonight.
a homemade jersey? Did you make that in arts and crafts?
No, man. No.
Did you make that in daycare?
No,
Hey, man, leave that man alone.
I don't think that's an official. I don't think that's official.
Come on now.
I don't think that's an NBA issue. But I'm gonna mute my mic before
Hey, Mr. Smith, the next show is gonna be next Wednesday night. We go live every Wednesday night from 8:30 until usually it's like 8:30 to 9:30 or 10. But look, man, y'all have a blessed night. Till next time. Hey, shout out to the missus. Hey, look, I'm no Republican, Democrat, or Independent.
Yeah.
I'm on the Lord's side, period.
Facts.
End of sentence. And MJ is the GOAT.
Facts.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, y'all stay put for a second.
All right, got you.